Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, and today we're going to be taking a look at two BeQuiet keyboards. And yes, you have heard that correctly. BeQuiet are now joining the realms of the keyboard fraternity, and I have to say right from the get-go that they are coming in hard and strong with the dark mount and the light mount. Now the dark mount is the more expensive of the two. It's got many more customizations, flashy screens, customizable panels that you can move around, which we will cover in great detail, but this is going to be available. The list price is actually $249 GBP, Great British Beer Tokens, but it's exclusively available at Scan in the UK, and they've actually got it listed for $239, which is £10 under the MSRP. Under the MSRP in this day and age. The light mount is the more sort of, I'm going to say gamery focused. It's got a more classic layout, just the number pad to the right, and we'll do more details. But this is meant to be 169 Great British Beer Tokens. Again, exclusively available at Scan, but they've got it listed for 149. So they've got this one listed under MSRP as well, which is kind of crackers. Now, BeQuiet, they're obviously renowned for quiet fans, and they excel at quiet fans as well. Quiet cases, quiet AIOs, and I'm going to say I was hoping that the keyboards were going to be no different. I am going to tell you right now, they are no different. They have brought an entirely different level of keyboards to the market in as regards to quiet as I have ever seen. Now, I am not the most, I'm not a keyboard aficionado. I'm not the guy that will make keyboards, get the kits. I'm not Dave Alcock. By the way, we're still thinking of Chloe, Dave. And I'm not that guy that obsesses about keyboards. I like stuff that works, will last, and is comfortable to use. But I am, at the same time, because I don't have to buy keyboards, they arrive for reviews, I do get to use a lot of them. But the weird thing is I get to use a lot of them, and I still have something quite simplistic and chiclet keys on my desk, because that's what I'm comfortable with. Stay tuned to the end. But the BeQuiet keyboards, they've built them from the ground up to excel on noise. But also, when you're trying to minimize noise, though, you also have to minimize vibrations, because you can get a lot of rattle and just unwanted resonance from things inside moving and rattling around. And that is why they've got 3 dampening layers of different foam and rubber within both of the keyboards. The keyboards themselves, you have 2 options with the keys. They are all pre-lubricated anyway. They are all their own custom keys throughout. We have one that's a tactile key that has a slight bump so that you can feel that you're using it, and then another linear one. I had the pleasure of using both when I went to look at these in Germany, and I have to say, for me personally, I preferred the linear, but you're going to know at home whether you want that tactile or whether you just want something really nice and smooth to use. Now, I will say that they're so smooth to use, it is really strange in that they are so very quiet. There isn't that like hit at the bottom, there's no movement. It's just so very smooth and just generally quiet to use. But they are incredibly well built as well, but they have to be, because as I've said to you before about if they're not very well built, then you're going to get that movement, you're going to get that rattle, and that's where the noise is going to come through. Now, as I've said, 3 layers of dampening foam to help with the keystrokes. They're high quality PBT double shot keycaps. You can swap those out though. They are the normal cherry kind of layout. So if you do want to customize them with different colors, different materials, you can do. The light mount does have a aluminium 3D media wheel on it. The one thing I will say though is all the keys are hot swappable, and they are programmable within the software as well, so you can assign everything should you want to. Now the dark mount is the one that's super customizable. Now, I have said to you about the being able to assign the keys and stuff. Now, they have done something kind of unique with this. Now, when I was away and I heard about this to start off with, nobody else had done a web software version. So you can go on the BeQuiet website, literally hit software, and then you can go onto the IO Center web and you can set the keyboards up pretty much completely. So you can set the lighting and stuff, you can update firmware. You can't assign the keys, but that's not a limitation with the software. That's actually a limitation within being able to do it within the browser. If you want to assign keys and stuff like that, you can just download and install the software onto your system. But the whole point of being able to customize the keyboard within your browser means you haven't got any bloatware or anything on there anyway. You can actually do a lot of the stuff within the screen on the dark mount, but we will continue going on with the dark mount because it is very customizable. You can take the number pad off and move it to the other side if you want, and it's just got a very simple slider underneath that you can move between, and it does come with all the covers so that you can cover it back up, and it cleans everything up as well, keeps everything super tidy. I personally prefer it in the kind of standard layout position, but you can obviously put it wherever you want. Everything is held together with magnets as well, so it's all got a very nice positive click and everything goes into place. You can also, with the wrist rests, if you wanted to and you didn't want to run both, you can obviously just put the small one over in front of the WASD to keep you comfortable there. There's so many ways that you can move and customize everything, including the screen, which can go into the slot on the other side. But one of the things I did think about for the screen, if you didn't like it where it was, you could get a male to female USB-C cable and then maybe 3D print a panel to be able to pop that on your desk. Now, this panel you can use to set up your lighting and loads of other different settings on the keyboard itself and within the system, including your lighting as well, which is kind of handy. It's got a media wheel on it as well, so you can turn your volume up and down. Like I said, you can do so much just through this little panel. The only thing that I found confusing with this is the back button is technically a double click. But once you learn that, it's fine. It was just, for me personally, it took me and my old man brain a little while for that to register properly, because you kind of keep clicking it and it's not going anywhere. If you double click, then that is the active back. I did personally end up preferring the media wheel over here slightly, just so that it was near the customizable buttons that are above the number pad. Now, they're 140 by 140 screens. You can set the icons up to do whatever you want. You can assign them to do whatever you want within reason as well, but you can assign the buttons throughout the keyboard to do whatever you want. Now, the light mount does have, as I've said, the media wheel and also the macro buttons over here, which you can assign. But you can assign those to do exactly the same as you wanted these to do. If you wanted, you can set your FN keys up to do whatever you want. You can set macros throughout the keyboard as much as you want as well. Now, the lighting, there are many lighting options. I'm not going to show you a wealth of them. The only thing that I will say with the lighting, I was very happy with the white. It was very clear and very precise. It didn't have that blue tinge. The orange was very good. The red was incredible. So was the blue and green. I did find the purple was a little bit wishy-washy though. There wasn't an intensity to the purple, and I kind of ended up leaning towards using a pink instead. And if you've ever used purple and pink, you will understand the differences that I'm trying to explain to you. But that was just I think that is going to be my only qualm with the lighting. I think we're on to a winner. With the lighting, slightly different with the two keyboards. You've got a large strip across the top with the light mount, and then two slightly smaller ones underneath, almost like car underlighting. Whereas with the dark mount, it's got a range of, or a strip around the whole outside of the keyboard, but no underlighting at all. So it's slightly more indirect rather than going down to the desk. I will say that I prefer the lighting on this one for using for writing and sort of when you don't want to be disturbed. But if I was trying to show off and highlight my desk more, the only thing I would say was I actually wished that the ones underneath this keyboard, as in the light mount, were a little bit brighter, or maybe there was more there. I needed them to be more intense. I found that for the majority, having it shining down towards the desk itself, you kind of had to look for the light rather than being bathed by it. So that was the only thing that I found with this, is it could have had a little bit more there. It is a USB-C cable that connects into the back of both. It's a braided cable, it's a 2 meter long cable, goes out to a normal USB-C-A. So if you did need to change this, whether you wanted it shorter to make things tidier on your desk, or whether you wanted it longer because your system is 3 miles away, it's really easy for you to be able to upgrade that. Now, as I've said, they are incredibly well built, very, very low noise, great customizations available as well. The fact that you've got the option to do your firmware and simple lighting setups within the I/O web software, I think is a masterstroke, and I'm a big fan of that. I have actually updated the firmware on both of these with the web version, and it went really smoothly. The only thing that you need to remember to do when you go on there is it won't show your keyboard up straight away. You have to just click find your device in the top right hand corner. It will show you the option of your keyboard there. You click that and then it will pop up. You do have to do that every time, but I don't think that's too much of an ask for something that means you don't have unnecessary software available, or so unnecessary software installed on your system itself. I did think that the dark mount was, I'm not going to say an expensive keyboard, but it's obviously a high price keyboard, but you're obviously going to really want to have it. But I think with the 8 customizable screen buttons that you have on this side, and the fact that you can move everything and customize everything, I think that's obviously where the extra value comes from, or the extra costs comes from with this one, whereas this is the more value optimized one. But obviously still £150 is never going to be seen as being a cheap keyboard. But weirdly, and it is kind of weirdly, even though this one does cost more, I do think you end up, because of everything that does come with it, with the fact that you can customize it, the fact that you can have the icons on the screen buttons up here, and you do have the media panel, I actually do think this one is slightly better value for money, because you do seem to get more with it. And this would definitely be my personal keyboard of choice, which is why I'm going to be honest, this one is going on my desk, and that should say a great deal. Whereas the light mount is going to be the one that you're probably going to see in the videos in the future, because I do want to continue using this one as well. But as I've said, I'm going to be selfish for a change, and this one is going on my desk. Now that's quite a big statement for me. That's quite a big statement for the majority, I would say, of reviewers as well. When they say that they actually want to use something themselves on a daily basis, not just on a test system or a test rig, but they want to sit there and use it, I don't think an endorsement comes any higher than that. And that is why the dark mount gets the TTL choice, because it's been a long time since I've actually wanted to have a full height, big sort of cherry style key on my desk. I've always liked chiclets. I've always liked very short, kind of boring keyboards, because it's incredibly easy for me to not think and type. Now that is just a personal preference. The dark mount has completely changed that for me, and this is going on my desk. I may change the keys. We will see in in time I'm going to have a look around, because this is the first time I've actually ever wanted to do that as well. But as I've said, the light mount, definitely going to stay in the test suite, but it's here and it's so very beautiful that I do want to be able to continue using it. But if I'm honest, because I move keyboards around a lot as well, because it's not the same rig that goes on a desk, things change. The fact that I can actually use the web software to set it up and change the colours to match what I'm filming at the time is another reason why I want to keep hold of it. It doesn't really work for you guys at home though, does it? But if you were to be taking your keyboards to work with you or moving stuff around, that you then can use a keyboard like this at work and not have to install software which you have to get signed off, or maybe you're not even allowed to install software on your work systems, but you can set it up on your work system with a piece of web software. That opens up a whole nother realm. It also opens you up to being able to do it very easily within Linux and the Mac software as well. So being able to do that is also a really big statement. So that is where we are with these. An amazing first entry for BeQuiet into the keyboard realm. This keyboard I absolutely love. This is the one that's going on my desk. This keyboard gets a huge, like, I'm going to call this the Enthusiast Award. But it does come in with a lot of hefty competition. But with Scan selling it at 150 quid, I think that puts it in with a fighting chance and definitely should be on your shortlist. Whereas this one, if you're looking for something a little bit more special, screens, keys and stuff, this is a special bit of kit. But for now at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Out. Ding!